Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another success story. Today we have Disha, who is going to share her success with all you guys so you can learn from her and be successful yourself. So, Disha, can you start off just by introducing yourself to everyone?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Disha. I'm from Punjab, India. So I got my score listening 9, 8 in reading, 7 each in writing and speaking, just after the first attempt after joining VIP course. And I
Excellent.
am just over cloud nine right now.
Congratulations again. Those are amazing score and dream scores for being able to immigrate to Canada, isn't that right?
Yes. Yeah, I waited for a very long time to get this score.
Excellent. So you said that you joined the course and then you got the scores you needed the next time. But was that the first time you had done the test, or how long were you preparing for the test? Can you tell us a little bit about your IELTS journey?
Yes, actually, my art journey started in February 2018. So it was my sixth attempt.
Mm,
In the first attempt itself, I got 7.5. So I was lacking in listening. So
mhm.
I got to know that I lack a bit of, like, I was not focused at that point of time. And I just gave the test after watching some of your videos only on YouTube. But later on, my struggle was more kind of with by manage for managing the different modules.
Mhm,
That because I was lacking every time zero point 0.5 band in one or the other module.
mhm.
So that was the biggest challenge for
So
me.
trying to get that consistency
Yes,
in every.
to
So
get score in all modules.
to go from a band 7 to a band 9 in listening is amazing. So most people never get a band 9, even
Never,
native English speakers would struggle to get a band right, so
never.
well done.
Yes, in fact, in my third attempt, I lost in listening only. I got 7.5 in listening, then 8, 7, 7.5 in others. That
Mm,
was fine.
mm.
In fact, in one day before the test, this time also, I was so nervous about listening that I don't want to face that recording again because I'm so afraid of it.
Yeah, I mean, fear and the stress can cause a lot of problems and things like that. So would you say that your biggest challenges, your biggest struggles were consistency, or were there any particular things, weaknesses or struggles that you had?
I think in the beginning, my struggle was with consistency
Mm,
and focus.
mhm,
And with the time, as I got to understand about IELTS skills in various modules, my writing was quite fine. But now, and after failing a lot of times, because I used to think like I failed, my struggle was with the mindset. So
okay.
when I purchased this VIP course and I first gone through those all the videos of mindset and even every time I was a little bit demotivated, I
Mhm,
saw your videos mindset course
mhm.
and I just buckle up again.
Yeah, and I think it's so important, especially when you're just missing by point 0.5. It's quite easy just
Yes,
to a lot of people blame themselves and think I'm not good
yes,
enough. But our attitude is the opposite of that is okay, learn from your mistakes, use those to get better and turn your weaknesses
yes.
into strengths. So,
And
but that is
actually I
not
was
easy. That's very difficult. It's a difficult
very
mindset. Most people, because most people don't want to hear that. And so well done for having that mind.
because I used always used to be a kind of topper, you can say, and even my family was looking at me like, oh, "What are you doing? You are not going. You are not able to get the score. It's just an English exam."
You
so
should say, well, you go and do it then.
so now when I saw your videos, like we feel like this, but eventually we can change our mindset when anytime we can. So every time I watched your videos and I got the motivation I needed to
Good.
prepare.
So we'll come back to mindset, but you talked a lot about focus, especially in regards to listening. And a lot of Indian students that I speak with need a band 8 or even higher for the Canadian PR. So if you were to give advice to someone who needs to increase their listening score to a band 8 or a band 9, what advice would you give them?
In listening, I think most of the people they try to, they focus more on the words they don't try to make the connection, what exactly the speaker is trying to say. In fact, I found it very useful that the way speakers talk in listening, uh, even by their intonation, by the way they speak, we get to know many things. Like, okay, this can be the answer by their tone itself. So instead of just focusing on getting the answer, we should relate to them. That makes things easier.
That's excellent advice. So instead of going very in close into the individual words, to kind of zoom out a little bit and understand the
Yes.
general sentences, the general meaning, the intonation, and all of those different things.
Yes, and in fact, in listening, because we always we have a short time duration in between the sections, so it is very important when to make the best use of that time. When we have to look at all the questions just to understand quickly, and then when to focus on the connected speech, when to just eliminate the options which we feel like they are not the answer. So this helped in MCQs especially too.
Yeah, yeah. Intonation carries a lot of different meaning. Like if for example, let's say um I'm teaching a class and a student comes in late and I say, please sit down, or I say, please sit down. Like it's exactly the same words, and one is very friendly, no problem. The other one is I'm angry. you know,
Yes.
exactly the same words. Or if I come home late to dinner and my wife says, that's fine, or she says, that's fine. One is I'm getting dinner and one is I'm not getting dinner. So intonation is
It's
interesting.
very important, and that's what I have understood. I have understood how to connect with people
Yeah.
by their intonations.
Excellent, excellent. And let's say let's imagine you have a friend who is at a band 7 in listening and wants to get to a band 8 or a band 9. What would be the main things that you would what would be the advice that you would give that friend?
uh, uh, for the listening part, I would say that meditation, it really helped me,
Excellent.
because I am kind of person who gets a lot of thoughts at a
Mm,
moment.
mm,
So just to sit there in the present moment was a big challenge for me, so I started meditation.
good.
After that, I would say that we should go question wise in the listening also. That what is the kind of question, and we should practice it strategically, so
For
that
each type of question.
yes,
Yeah.
because I have practiced a lot. It's like in these 3 years, if we say practice makes a man perfect, it is
And a
absolutely
woman.
not correct.
Not just the men.
I so much in the listening also, and my score was not increasing.
Yeah.
So when I listened to your videos, I got to know that we have to fix our problems. So
Yeah.
I started analyzing my mistakes, what kind of mistakes I make. It was not of spelling, it was not of grammar, it was sometimes of plural, singular, but most of the times it was like I did not know the strategy of the question
Yeah.
and I did it wrong.
Yeah. I
So
mean, if you got two students and one student does 100 practice tests and another student just does 5 practice tests, but that student looks at the 5 practice tests and all of the mistakes and analyzes the mistakes and then learns from those
yes,
mistakes. The student who does 5%, just 5 tests compared to one who does 100 will do much, much better, because it's not
yes,
about practice, practice, practice. It's about practicing strategically and
yes. That's what I learned, analyzing my mistakes, which I was not able to figure out earlier.
Mhm.
So that made all the difference.
And it's really interesting what you said about meditation, because meditation not only helps with focus, but it can help with stress and it can help with
Yes.
many other things. So there's some great apps you can get. Like there's one called
Headspace.
Headspace, Calm, the Waking Up app. I meditate myself.
Okay.
I find it really does help. But also a good way to think about the listening test and the reading test is that it is a lot about focus, and it's to use a different analogy. Imagine you have to run 10 kilometers, but you're not very good at running. So you don't try and go from 0 to 10. You go from 0 to 1 kilometer and then 0 to 2, and then 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4. Exactly the same thing with listening. You might be able to completely focus for 5 minutes. Then the next day, try to focus for 7 minutes, and then 9,
Mm.
and then 12, and then 15. You'll build it up like a muscle. And I think
Yes.
that that will really help, and do a little bit every day. Try and push yourself a little bit every day, and that will help with your listening. Um,
Yes. And one more thing, like in the listening, I used to take deep breaths whenever I felt like I'm losing the focus.
yeah.
So it helped me to get into the present moment. And I thought I already knew beforehand that in the exam also I'm going to be stuck somewhere in the listening.
Mm.
But I will take deep breaths and I will just go with the listening test.
I think there's something to learn from that as well, is like focusing on the present moment. If we look at that from a higher level, a lot of students, when they're preparing for the test, don't live in the present moment. They
Yes.
look at the past and think, I failed the test, which means I'm terrible, I'm going to fail again. And then they look at the future and they fear the future, and they're like, oh, I don't. So I think, meditation, living in the present moment each day, just like, what do I have to do to get better today? What little thing can I do to improve? And really focusing like, what's my biggest weakness that I need to work on today? Do a little bit every day, and then don't even think about booking the test in the future. Don't worry about that. Just every day try and get better. And then one day you'll be like, oh, I'm ready to book the test. I'm ready to do it. Whereas I think a lot of students book the test first and then panic, and then they don't do anything, and then they get really upset and stressed out. And so that's why we always say don't book the test until you're ready to get the score that you need.
All these things have already actually helped me because I was also this kind of student.
Yeah.
Every time in the past, I booked my test first and then I started preparation.
Mm.
Then there was a 1 week or 2 weeks before the test, and I was totally nervous.
Mm.
Like, I don't know where I stand. Now I have to go through it. And I just started fearing this exam like hell.
And how did you cope with feeling nervous and feeling stressed? How did you manage your stress levels?
I when I saw your one of the videos in the mindset course that you have to put work every day and the test day will not be that much stressful. So
Mm.
I put in a lot of work. I got good score in writing also. In listening, one day before, as I mentioned that I was not. I knew that I have done a lot of work, but still, I had this thing that anything can happen in the exam.
Yeah.
But I was prepared that this time I will not let anything ruin my exam.
Yeah.
So
I
I will
think
do my best.
I
I
think
don't know what will happen.
taking action, like if I have lots of problems in my business, like I run a big business, and a business is just basically a bunch of big problems that you have to solve. So it's stressful, but what I always tell the people working here is, as soon as you take action on that stressful problem, the stress goes away. The
Yes.
what is most stressful is when you know that you have lots of problems and you don't do anything about them. That's
Mm.
really stressful. So for IELTS students, what I always say is like, okay, first of all, what are your problems? What are your
Mm.
weaknesses? And then just systematically go through each of those and attack those and take action. And then
Yes.
on test day, you're like, I've done enough work. I'm a little bit nervous, but not very nervous. Whereas what most students do
Yes.
is do nothing, do very little, maybe look at YouTube, look for some tips and tricks, and then on test day, they're extremely nervous because they
Mm.
know deep down in their heart that they didn't do anything, realistically
Yes. And
speaking.
I did not want any such thing in my mind this time that I would regret I could have done this or I didn't do this. So I was prepared. I prepared question type wise. I did a lot of practice test. Listening was the one module which I never missed doing it.
Mm.
So yes, I was able to do it on the exam day.
Excellent. Well, Disha, thank you so much for sharing how you got a band 9 in listening and an amazing band 8 in reading and 7 in speaking and 7 in writing. And thank you so much for sharing that with everybody. And do listen to Disha, like the basic things, fundamental things that she said, such as practicing strategically, learning from your mistakes, learning how to focus on the test, and managing your stress levels. Like those things are very, very important. But if anybody needs help from us, feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to give you any advice that you need. Disha, I wish you all the best of luck in the future. And if you need anything in the future, get in touch with us. Any last minute advice for students?
I would say to everybody who is sailing in the same boat that don't give up, because I was about to give up. But I don't know how. One of my friends, he called me on my birthday last year. He told me that why are you giving up? You just take IELTS advantage. I got CLP 10. And then okay, so for my dreams, I will do it. And I never knew that I will talk to you so soon.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Disha. You deserve all the success because you worked so hard and put the work in. So thank you so much again for sharing
Thank
everything
you,
with us.
Chris.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris here again. Hopefully you enjoyed that success story video. That student was part of our IELTS VIP course. And on that course, we show students exactly where they're going wrong and exactly what to do to get the score that they need. And we give them all the help and support that they need in order to get a 7, 8, or even 9 in their IELTS test. Now, we only work with a really, really small number of students. Because of the level of help and feedback and support that we give students, we can only work with a very, very small number of them. But we also have more success stories than any other online or offline course in the world, which has created a huge amount of demand for our course. So we're the only course in the world, I believe, that has a very, very, very long waiting list. If you want to join that waiting list, all you have to do is just click here and you'll be able to add your name, add your email address, and then when one of our students becomes successful and leaves the course, the next position can be for you. Hopefully see you in there. Bye-bye.